Hey, Grandpa.
What?
Why don't you sit there and tell me how you and Grandma met, would you?
Ah,
Years, when it was, when, how, you know.
well, her dad worked for the Associated Oil Company on the west side. And so she, on the west side of the valley, San Joaquin Valley. And so she had to come to Tranquility High School. And I didn't see her until she walked in the auditorium. She was walking down the aisle of the auditorium, and I was talking to a girl in back of me. In front of me, I mean.
Which school is this?
Tranquility High School. Tranquility High School. Yes.
Okay.
And I asked Annabelle Craker, I said, who in heck is that?
Oh,
And
yeah.
she said, oh, that's a new girl. I said, really? She's going to come here? Yes. I said, okay. Boy, she's a good looker, isn't she? So, after they dismissed us from the auditorium, I went to class, first class period, and I thought, I'm going to go to the office. So I went up and asked the teacher, or told the teacher, I said, I have to go to the office. I think I have a book that's overdue, and I really need to go there.
What? Was there a book overdue?
Of course not. Anyway, walked in and the office, and the lady running the office said, Jack, what are you doing in here? And I said, well, I think I got a book that's overdue or something. I can't find it. She said, Jack, go back to your class. But when I came in, before all this took place, when I came into the office, I looked to my left, and guess who was sitting in Mrs. What was her name? I can't remember her name. The principal's office. The principal wasn't in her office at the time. And so I went on in, and like I said, and told the secretary, I said, I've got to check on a book, and she told me to go back to class. So I went back and walked into the principal's office, walked up to Wilma and said, you're new here, huh? She said, yes. And I said, well, what's your name? And she says, it's Wilma. Wilma what? Wilma Birdwell. And I said, well, where do you live? She said, out on the west side. 25, 30 miles. Yeah.
That's out there, man.
Yeah. And I said, boy, you sure have a pretty locket around your neck. And of course, I was probably trying to look at something else. But anyway.
Nah.
Anyway, she said, I said, who gave you the locker? Oh, she said, my boyfriend. I said, oh, you have a boyfriend, huh? And she said, yes. And I said, well, what are you going to do now? You're 30 miles from Fresno. That's where they moved from. See? And she said, well, he's in the Navy anyway. And I said, really? I said, he looks too young to be in the Navy. And she said, and your grandmother looked at me and said, he looks just as old as you do. That's when I met her. Oh, what a beautiful girl.
What year was that?
That was in 1942. 1942. Yep. And almost a year later, that was the beginning of the year, see. Almost a year, about 9-10 months later. Yeah, it was more than that. That must have been in 1941. Because we got married in 1942 and we went together for 11 months. See.
You guys get married in 42 or was it 43?
Well, I guess maybe it was 43, yeah. Shoot, I've forgotten, Jack.
Well, a lot has happened since then.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I mean, about 90, almost 90 years has gone by.
90?
No, 70. Over 70 years have gone by. 71.
That was a long time, man.